topic is something which is very close to my heart, dear friends, dear students, dear teachers, dear parents. This is something which is very, very dear to my heart, and I would really wish to speak on this, something which is so important. I always wanted to make a difference in this world, and that's the reason I was preparing for my IIT JEE in my teenage days. That was the main thing. I wanted to make an impact on this world. As gradually I evolved in my life, I understood that there is something missing in this world. Like they say that there are very few people in this world who are wise. There are very few people in this world who are wise. Then what about rest? Rest are otherwise. So therefore, wisdom is something which I feel is lacking in this world. All of us, we want to live our life with great happiness, with great success and everything. Yet, what is one thing? There's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of technology. But there is a lot of shortage of wisdom. So therefore, I really wanted that I can add wisdom to people's life. And therefore, I had done a lot of research, as I said, in the various scriptures, Indian wisdom books, which are really profound and they're really very powerful. They give us anecdotes, they give us stories, they give us sutras, they give us so much of information about this, about how to live life, and a lot has to deal with teaching. Teachers from the beginning of the creation have been transforming the life of the students and children. This has been the protocol from the beginning of the creation, from since when we are having this, from the time the teaching began. So therefore, this program which I am taking for you, it's basically a program on the occasion of Guru Purnima. So what is Guru Purnima exactly? Guru Purnima is the birthday or the appearance day, as we say in the scriptures. Such a great personality as Vyasa Dev, who is also known as literary incarnation of God, of Krishna. So therefore, he invented on earth on this particular day. It's a very special day. It's a very auspicious day. It's a very important day, and something which we can discuss. If there's something which we can discuss on this day, we surely should discuss about student and teacher relationship, because Vyasadev, as we all know, Vyasadev has benefited the entire humanity by giving us the Vedas, by giving us the Puranas, by giving us the Mahabharata, by giving us the entire canon of Vedic literature is actually compiled by Vyasadev as an inspiration in his heart from the Lord himself. So therefore, Vyasa was meditating, and he was looking at humanity, that especially in the age of Kali Yuga, which we are in present, according to the scriptures, according to the Indian scriptures, he was thinking about how can we benefit everybody. So thinking about that, he says a verse in the Bhagavad Puran says, "Anarth upashamam shakshat bhakti yoga adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvam shakrit satvat samhitam." So, looking at the age of the Kali Yuga, specifically, Vyasadeva understood that in the age of Kali, people's memories will be very little. It will not be long, they cannot be memorizing for very long. They keep forgetting a lot, isn't it? So therefore, for these people of the Kali Yuga who have forgetfulness problem, so therefore, Vyasa compiled the scriptures in the written format. Scriptures were existing before in the sound format, but now they started existing in the format of the written texts also. So remembering from forgetting, this age is called as forgetfulness. So once there was a person who went to the doctor, and he said to the doctor, "Doctor, I have a big problem. I keep forgetting a lot. So the doctor said, "Oh, really? You keep forgetting a lot? Wait. So these doctors, they have this prescription, they have this pad in which they want to write down what problems we have. So they said, okay, what do you forget? What all do you forget?" So the patient replied, "Sir, I forget three things. There are three specific things which I forget. I want to tell you." "Okay, tell me what is it?" "So what do you forget?" So the patient replied, "I forget the names of people, actually, names of people. All of us, we know that, we sometimes forget the names of people, and then we recollect, what was his name? What was her name? What was, difficult." By the way, today, talking about student and teacher, the teachers don't remember the names of their students. And that's really horrible. I was a teacher for around 2 years. As I passed out from IIT, then I was working in Adobe around 2 years. And after that, I wanted to try out more in teaching professions. So therefore, I went for 2 years in teaching. There was one thing which I always did. I took a lot of was in an engineering college, so I had 3 subjects which I had to take, etc., and lab, etc. So therefore, in every classroom which I went, there were around 60 to 80 students, and I made sure that every student feels that yes, I remember their name. It was tough in the beginning, but then if you're interested in your students, you actually remember their names. So yeah, but this patient told to the doctor, I forget the names of the people. It's a common disease, right? Common thing. Okay. Okay. What is the second thing you forget? Doctor asked. What's the second thing you forget? Yeah, I forget the phone numbers of people. That's another problem, right? Sometimes we even forget our mother's phone number. We forget even our father's phone number. Sometimes the relatives' phone number. We forget. Sometimes we even forget by what name we have saved the phone number. We keep searching. Okay, what is it? There have to be search options for that. And so a doctor said, all right, fine. You forget the names, you forget the phone numbers. What else do you forget? The patient went blank. The patient said, sir, wait a minute. Actually, I forgot. I forgot what I forget. So this is the forgetfulness disease. Sometimes we keep the files very safely in our folders and our laptops, and then we forget where are the files. Sometimes we keep the passwords and Gmail and this and that and Facebook account and Twitter and this and that. So many forget the passwords. Sometimes people forget their PIN number of ATM also. A lot of forgetfulness. So this is the common problem, right? This is the common thing. It's not that only students forget, everybody else forgets. It's not that forgetfulness is only a problem for the students. The teachers also, the parents also, I'm sure the principals also, directors also, they all forget. Knowing very well in the age of Kali Yuga there is forgetfulness, Vyasa did something for all of us. In what he did was, he actually compiled the scriptures in the written format so that you don't have to remember them, you can actually read them. Okay, so tribute to this great personality, Vyasa, who is the original teacher for all humanity, giving us the Vedas, we celebrate this day, Guru Purnima. Tribute to Vyasadeva, tribute to all the great teachers. I want to pay obeisances to all of them. I want to pay obeisances to all the teachers of the world. And let me begin this session for all of you. So we have this tribute to all the teachers. The best teacher, here is something for all of you. I will keep speaking a wonderful tips for all of you, whether you are a student, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a parent. Please note this, because even the parents are also teachers, and even the students, when they grow older, they are going to be parents, they are going to be teachers. And there is something, a clue for all of you here. So please kindly take note of this. The best teachers teach from the heart, not from the book. If you are able to relate with this, if you love this quote, if you feel happy to hear this, if you say, wow, this is really correct. You just don't teach us from the books. Actually, best teachers teach from the heart. If you love this quote, if you like this, and if you're with me, please type, yeah, great, on your chat box, please, so that I can see you are with me here. So if you love this, if you like this, you can just please type on your chat box. You can say great. You can say, yeah, that's nice. It's wonderful. I love it. It's splendid. Okay, thank you, Sayed. Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Great. Adav, thank you. It's a great quote. So I love this quote. I really love this quote. It's amazing quote. I mean, the teachers don't teach from the books, right? I mean, they teach from the heart. And I'm going to tell you why. The topic today is, in the era of online education, the student and teacher relationships matter, and relationships are where? Relationships are not in the brain. Relationships are not in the books. Relationships are of the heart, right? Relationships are of the heart, right? Isn't it? So therefore, if the relationships are from the heart, teachers don't teach just from the books. They teach from the heart. If you really want to impact your students, if you really want to impact anybody in this world, if you really want to make an impact and influence people, you have to speak from your heart. I always say this to people. When you speak from your brain, what you have memorized, what you have conceptualized, you can touch the brains of the people. If you only are, you are going to speak only, not even prepared from your brain properly, you're not even prepared properly, you're just going to bluff up. That means the words are coming out only from your mouth, not even coming from the brain, the ideas. Then you're only going to touch the skin deep, If you're prepared well, you can touch the brains of the people, but only if you are a good teacher, you know what is teaching. If you really are interested in caring for your student, then you can touch the hearts of people. And yes, my dear friends, teachers do transform the lives of the students, but only when they start teaching from the hearts. What is this all about? That's what is going to be my session about. I'm going to talk about how teachers can teach from the heart. This is what I'm talking about. Student and teacher relationship is the main subject matter. And I really feel a lot of change in our education is necessary. And I'm going to show you a lot of examples, live examples which have transformed the life. This is the man in front of you who we are seeing here. This is, of course, you don't need an introduction for him, right? But you will definitely need an introduction of his teacher. So he says, Bill Gates says in one of his speeches, he was saying that he remembers his teacher when he was just a small child, 9 years old. He remembers Mrs. Blank Cafiri. He remembers her and says that she has really touched a part of my heart. And he shares his own story. He says, I was just 9. At that time, I was just a little different kid. I was not around with everybody. I was not mingling with everyone. And I was just too shy. I didn't want to be noticed. I was just that nerdy little guy, who didn't care for himself. His hairs were a little crazy and his desks were always, little, messed up. And I always wanted to be away from people. Therefore, everybody kept on saying, you're a little different, you're different. And therefore, when I went to the library, I used to take out books and I used to read the book. And everybody would look at me, hey, what is he doing? He's reading books. He's reading books. Come on, he's reading books. Huh? That's what the boys were telling. Yeah, only the girls read books. Hey, we boys, we play basketball. We don't read the books, we play basketball. In his culture when Bill was growing, that was the norm. Okay, and he was not in the norm. Have you seen a lot of guys, a lot of gals, a lot of students, around you in your classroom? Maybe you are a student. You are that student probably, right? Have you seen this? When you don't fit in a particular culture, people start looking a little different at you, and then you start feeling a little shy. And oh my God. So he loved books, whereas most of the other guys were not supposed to love books. So he used to be very shy. Talking from the books, there was a teacher who came to the student and he asked. Teacher asked the student, what is your favorite book? My dear student, I want to know from you, what is your favorite book? Please tell me what is your favorite book? A student replied, my father's checkbook. Well, that's favorite of the child, maybe not favorite for the father. The teacher became a little annoyed. He said, I'm not talking about that, right? I'm not talking about your father's checkbook. I am talking about books, okay? Books. So tell me, what is your favorite book? The student again thought over and then said, my favorite. You are serious about it? You want to know my favorite book? Yeah. Well, my favorite book is Facebook. No, this was too much for the teacher. Okay, checkbook and the Facebook, and maybe he would say next the notebooks. Which coaching institutes. Why are we not able to build interest of people in our education? This is something which I'm concerned about. This is something which I really want to focus on. And maybe today's program can actually, as they say, hit on the bull of the eye. So Mr. Bill, taking along his story, Mr. Bill, he says, I went to this particular place, my library in my school, and I had this my madam, Mrs. Blank, who was a librarian, a teacher over there, who was also a librarian. And she saw over to me and, she saw that I was a little shy and I was just looking at certain books. And she came over to me and said, Bill, what happened? How are you? How are you doing? And the Bill was, as usual, a little shy, maybe introvertish a little bit. And said that, it's fine, madam, everything is okay. Madam said, it seems like you want to read some books. Tell me which books you would like to read. And the Bill was like, stammering a little and saying, maybe he was afraid. He spoke a few names and the madam got her the books, and he said, well, if you like these books, come over to me and I'll discuss with you. So the Bill finishes one or two of these books, a little small thin books, and then he goes to the madam, and madam actually started discussing about the books to him, and also she started sharing few of the best books which she had read, and she gave found out them and she gave them to the Bill, and in this way a relationship between Mrs. Blank and small child Bill, 9 years old, it started establishing over the books. And it happened so that Bill discovered his passion in reading many of the technology books. Right then when he was 9 or 10, he would not be so much interested in playing at that time. He would be so much interested in learning about technology. Hence, Mrs. Blank, a personality who really probably has changed the entire way we look at this world, thanks to Mr. Bill, who actually later on was such a technology freak that he came up with his computers, came up with this, the Microsoft, and how much our lives are affected by this computing technology, and thanks to Mr. Bill. But did you know that behind Mr. Bill's craze for technology and reading a lot on that was Mrs. Blank, who actually encouraged him, gave him courage, gave him the trust that what you're doing is nothing wrong. You'll be a little different from others, but this is something really wonderful. She established that relationship with Bill, and that's because of that, the Bill was able to find his passion and was able to give time to it. That was Bill. And then what the Bill later says, looking back at now, there's no question that my time with Mrs. Scafari helped spark my interest in libraries. So therefore, later on, and of course, and also for the teaching, for the teaching field. So later on, Mr. Bill and of course his wife Melinda Gates, in their charitable foundation, as a tribute to their teacher, they started 2 projects. One was for giving the technology to the libraries, making the books online, technology for the libraries. That's one project which they started. Second project was upgrade the teaching, K-12, they say in America, K-12, that means for 10th to 12th, like that, education, for that, giving them technology. So this was a thank you for being my teacher, which he says to Mrs. Blank later on by giving this tribute. This much impact is what a teacher can make in the lives of his or her students. My dear friends, if you are a teacher, you teach from your heart, you actually can change the lives of people, and you can build strong communities. First, you can build strong individuals, then you can bring strong communities, and you can build strong nations, and probably you can build a strong world if you are a teacher who teaches from the heart and builds that relationships. Okay, so I want to ask you this. Of course, before that, I want to give you now. I want to ask you this question. As I said to you, I will interact with you, right? I want to ask this question to you. Please start thinking on this question. Who is that one teacher who just really truly influenced you? This is one question which I want to ask you. You start thinking about that, and the interaction will begin. Before that, I would like to tell you from the story from the scriptures, very short, because I would like to keep one more interaction later. So therefore, in very short, I'll tell you how in the scriptures also, I have read a lot of books on Indian Vedic scriptures. Then one of the cases in one of the Puranas, it talks about the story of Narada and Mrigarari. Mrigarari, in this Purana, it says that Mrigarari was a cruel, hard-hearted hunter. And his speciality was that he would not kill animals. Now you would say that, if he's a hunter, he would kill animals, right? No, his speciality was he would never kill the animals, he would just half kill them. That's worse. If you half kill your animals, that's worse. Because the animals, when they're half killed, they would just be dying, and with great pain, they would leave their body. So when Narada came around, in that jungle where Mrigarari was living, so Narada came over there and he said, what's happening? He saw the cries of all the different animals, the beasts, the deers, etc. So he was very compassionate. So this is one quality, I think, which we need to focus on. If there is one thing which is lacking in this world, which is wisdom to live, and the wisdom to live is to show kindness and compassion to others. And Narada had abundance of compassion in his heart, right? If you want to touch the heart of another person, there is a currency required for the relationship. Kindness is that currency which actually builds heart together, isn't it? The kindness, the love, the compassion of heart. So Narada, seeing the animals, was not able to contain himself. He was almost crying, and he said, who has half killed you? Who is that person? So, as he cried out, who is that person who has half killed these animals in the jungle? So there was a loud laughter. A loud laughter was rumbling, as if, there was resounding all across from the trees, from the woods. Okay. And that was none other than Mrigarari, who came out along with his, along with his bow and the arrow, looking very fierce. His hairs were just disheveled, long hairs, dark-skinned guy, bearing certain skin of the animals. And he was laughing. And he says to Narada, I am that person, Mrigarari, who is the hunter who has killed all these animals. All the credit goes to me. There is none other than me who can kill the animals half in the most amazing and special ways, so that I can enjoy. I can just enjoy seeing these animals being half killed. And Narada was by his side. Oh my God, whom I am meeting, he's a human being? Narada was almost in tears and he said, my dear Mrigarari, I have only one request to make you. Can you please fulfill my one request? Now, dear friends, we are talking about the culture. We're talking about the old days, good old days. Right? We're talking about that culture where saints were very much respected. Okay, spiritual teachers were very much respected. So when Mrigarari hears Narada and says that, can you please fulfill my request? So Mrigarari said, yes, I would like to do something, I would like to ask, I like to fulfill your request. What is the request? Mrigarari said, do you want to have some skin of the animals? Do you want to have the skin of the animals? Is it because you're a saint, so you may be wanting to sit somewhere, you want some skin of the animals? I can give you lion skin. I can give you boar's skin. I can give you bear's skin. I can give you any skin you want. I've killed all the animals, different animals. Narada said, I don't want anything of that. I don't want anything of that. I have just one request to you. Mrigarari was like confused. Okay, what request the sage has from me? What can I give him? So Mrigarari said, okay, please ask me. I promise you I'll give you. Tell me what. Narada said, I have only one request. Do not half kill these animals. Oh, okay, then what should I do? He said, don't half kill these animals. You kill them fully. Don't half kill them. Kill them fully. What? Mrigarari said, what? What are you speaking? You are saying to me, don't half kill these animals, kill them fully. First of all, I'm confused that as a saint, how can you ask me to kill the animals? I thought you were going to ask me to stop killing these animals. But why are you asking me to stop half killing these animals? Narada, but now he was in tears and he said, don't you see these animals are in so much of pain? If you at least kill them at once, they will not have to suffer so much of pain. Mrigarari, please do not do so much of violence on these animals. If you wish to kill them, because that's your profession, then don't kill them half. Kill them in such a way that they at once die by your arrow. Now Mrigarari was confused again. He said, okay, but how does it help? How does it help? I love to see them in pain. Narada said, well, do you know what's going to happen to you? Narada said, I am actually concerned about you. Mrigarari, do you know what's going to happen to you because of what you are doing? Because of your half killing of these animals? You know what is going to happen? Mrigarari said, I don't know. Would you like to tell me what's going to happen? He said, yeah. And by his own powers, which he had by his meditation, Narada created a scene and he showed the future of Mrigarari that, just like you're half killing these so many different animals, all these animals in the next birth are going to torture you like anything. And Mrigarari saw suddenly all these animals attacking him in his vision, and they're all killing him, trying to kill him, giving him immense amount of pain. And Mrigarari was by his side. He was just crying, oh, no, Narada, save me. And Narada closes off the vision, and Mrigarari was terrified. He said, Narada, can you please help me? I don't want so much of suffering in my life. Can you please do something? And I really wish to avoid this. Narada said, yes, I can do something for you. I can help you a lot. For that, you have to do another thing. Because you obeyed my one instruction, I showed you what's your future. But if you obey my other instruction, and I can do something to you, by which you will never be having to see this kind of a scene where you are suffering by these animals. You are getting suffering by these animals. So then, Mrigarari said, yes, I am ready to do whatever you say. By this time, Mrigarari's heart has started changing. Being in touch with this great saint Narada, who was filled with love and compassion, even the heart of Mrigarari was now becoming soft, and he was realizing that giving pain to so many animals will actually cause him pain again, right? So therefore, Mrigarari said, tell me what I have to do. Now this time, Narada said, break your bow. Break your bow. And then you will say that how will I get my livelihood, because that's the only profession I know of hunting. I will take care of you, my dear Mrigarari. I'll take care of you. I'll supply you all the food stuffs which is necessary. Just you break your bow so that you don't commit this kind of activity, hunting of these animals in such a cruel way again. Mrigarari, because he was so touched by the Narada, therefore he immediately breaks his bow, and immediately, he obeys the instructions of Narada, and his heart goes through such a big transformation, being in the divine presence of Narada. Because Narada was not just speaking from his brain, his logic. Narada was speaking from his heart. He shared such a compassion for Mrigarari that Mrigarari was so touched that this saint is really a saint. He's really interested in my life to save me, give me protection. Therefore, because of this exchange of heartfelt relationship, his life was totally transformed. From being a cruel-hearted hunter, he became a very saintly personality who later on in his life could not even step over the ants. Once another instance when Narada came back again to this jungle, much time later on, decades later on, when Mrigarari was with his wife, he was there in his cottage, and suddenly as Narada came, Mrigarari went, to try to greet him. There was a row of ants in between, and he did not step over them. He rather took off his clothes, and he was brushing them very gently aside so that he can go and meet his teacher, his spiritual teacher. Imagine that change of heart from being a cruel-hearted hunter to being such a soft-hearted, saintly person who could not even step over the ant. This is the transformation which scriptures talk about a great teacher can make in the life of the students. If you love the story which I told you, please type okay, great, or whatever on your chat box. And now is the time when I'm going to ask you, the question. Please type on your chat box quickly so that I see that yes, you are with me. If you like the story, if you like what I'm speaking, you can please type it. If you loved it, you can say yes, great, okay, wise, wonderful. It was heart touching. It was amazing. I loved it. It was very nice how the things changed for this. Really a nice story. Yeah. My heart was very touched. My heart was very touched when I actually read this story. That oh my God, what a transformation! What a transformation actually, which happened in the life of this Mrigarari. These are your responses. These are your responses here. Names and one teacher who has influenced your life. I'm going to tell you my story in short. When I was in 5th standard, there was one teacher, Mrs. Ruchi, madam, who used to teach us mathematics. Well, I didn't like mathematics so much as a subject. It was okay. I was good at plus minus and multiplication and that all the number systems etc. The 5th standard, little bit algebra had got introduced etc. All that was fine, and but I used to talk a lot in the class. Really, when I was in 5th standard, I used to speak a lot in my classroom. I was always that little bit of extrovert type of a person who would just express a lot. So I would just talk to some 10 friends even when the teacher was teaching. So I still remember this one day. I can't just forget this one day. I want to tell you what is that one day. As you are typing, hear this my story also. So I just remember this one day, Ruchi madam, Mrs. Ruchi, she came over to me. It was like probably in the recess time, in the lunch break time, interval, as you say it. She came over to me and said, well, my dear, student, you are such a good student. You really think very good. You really do your homework nicely, and you are always in the first 3 or 4. First I was always in first 5 always. So you're so good. But there's one thing which concerns me, that why do you talk so much in the classroom? And then I was like, I was thinking, my God, I'm going to get a slap or something, But surprisingly, she never slapped me. She never scolded me also. She just said one thing, that maybe even if you talk in my class, still you do so good, then what if you stop talking in the classroom? Maybe you will do much better. Think about it. She just said that. I still remember it. She never scolded me. She didn't hit me hard or slapped me or take the scale. And some teachers have done that with me. They took the scale and they were beating me. Okay, I remember them also, but not in a good way. But this teacher was really amazing. She told me that, think about it. If you talk in my classroom, still you get first 5. What if you do not talk and just concentrate in the class? I was thinking, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe it's right. And I actually I stopped talking in the classroom, and I started paying more attention, and it changed actually quite a lot in my life. I never ever after that started. I never never started talking, chit-chatting with the students. I don't remember after that doing that. Never. Practically, I have not done that. And the result was I was from first 4, 5 to now first 3, and then later on in first 2, and then later on in 1. Because I developed more interest in what the teachers were to say. That was very interesting of that, isn't it? So yeah, now I'm going to see, oh my God, there are so many of you who have given this form. and I have 36 responses, and I wish to see that more responses come. Please, I request you. This is something which you can do on the Guru Purnima day. Remember one of your teachers. Maybe there are two, maybe there are three, maybe there are four. Just remember one of them and tell us what did they do. How did the teacher influence you for what, or what did they do to influence you? So let's see it's in front of you. And here is a lesson for all of us. I don't remember my teacher, Ruchi madam, for how much good she was in teaching. I forgot. I really don't remember much. She was good at teaching, but I don't remember that so much, I remember her doing certain questions on the, we had a blackboard that time. I remember doing that and remembering that, she was solving some questions, etc. I don't remember more than that. But what I surely remember is the way she encouraged me, the way she spoke to me, the way she corrected me, the way she gave me that, the joyful correction. The way she actually encouraged me later on. She would come around, she would go around in the classroom. I learned that from her. She would go around the classroom and she would be interested in all of us and seeing things. I remember this. I don't remember her subject knowledge. I don't remember that. I remember this. Interaction, student and teacher relationship. I remember that. Let me see, what do you remember? Okay, so Janaki Meena remembers someone of her professor. Her professor says that his way of teaching and giving exposure, giving certain things, certain exposure to the child or the topic or whatever. And we have Yogananda who says our maths teacher Revana sir. So with teaching he did something. Your dad, Adhav says his dad, to learn medicine in the way it has to be learned and how to be empathizing towards the patients, his quality of empathizing with others. M. Shiva says he inspired me to love the subject. He inspired me to love this subject. This is very good. And Sampath is saying that he made me wake up in the morning 5 a.m. and explained about Gita scriptures and introduced to me yoga. So he was personally interested in your life, isn't it? He was personally interested in your life. It was beyond the classroom. A lot of teaching, a lot of teacher and student relationship, and here is where most people don't know about it. I talk to a lot of teachers also, and I tell them, whatever you do inside the classroom is fine. I want to ask you, what do you do outside the classroom? And many of the teachers go blank and say, what? Outside the classroom? Well, we have to do something outside the classroom? I said, of course. You know what? That's where the relationships are built. A lot of relationship happens if you are just walking down the corridor and somebody is there and you say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? If everything is fine. Make a relationship, a bond. The students should feel that you care for them. It should be a caring community. School is not where you go and you just pay your fees and you just treat it impersonally and nobody cares for you. The teachers are just busy in their own world. No, right? The caring personality is what makes impact in the lives of the children, and then they want to learn from you. They want to learn from you if they don't find you interested in them. The students, they don't love this subject. They love the teacher, and the teacher is teaching the subject, therefore they love the subject. Please remember this. When the students love their teachers, whatever damn subject they are teaching, whatever it is most difficult subject in the entire creation. It is rocket science. If the teachers are having great concern for the child, if the student feels that they care for me, the student will love the teacher and therefore will love whatever they are teaching. For the sake of the teacher, they are going to learn it. They are going to learn it well. Please remember this. So a lot of the times when the parents also tell to me that my child is going through this problem, that problem, I tell them this very simple thing and fundamental thing in life. Maybe your child is not getting enough love. Maybe he is not feeling encouraged sufficiently. Maybe he's not having proper relationships in his school. Maybe teachers have to work on it. Maybe sometimes parents have to work on it. The parents, if they give that loving bond, to the child will have even better in academics. And most of the times what happens is when the child is not performing well in the academics, what do we start doing? We start trying to, scold them. We start trying to say, restrict them, take away their toys, take away their all, whatever they are enjoying the advantages. Start restricting them even more, and that makes them go even lesser in the performance actually. So here is a clue which I want to add to you all. So then you have Asif Gautami is saying that he teaches from heart. His concern on each and every student to do their best. You please see this. It's all in front of you, dear friends. It's all in front of you. Our responses. And Anusha is saying about me. Gaurav is saying Bansal sir in Kota, he was on wheelchair but worked very hard and inspired me. See, this quality of his to show interest in his child is working very hard. Then the student also feels, I am going to work harder because my teacher is working hard on me. I am also going to work hard and learn it. That's what I'm talking about. The teachers have to teach from heart, right? Not from the textbook. I'm not saying you should not use textbooks, but what I'm talking about is a relationship, right? I'm just going to take a few more responses. I'm going to read each and every one of your response, dear friends. But maybe for reading it out aloud, I'm going to read few. Okay, so we have Charu Joshi. I'm just picking up here and there. Charu Joshi says, Dr. Navdeep, his amazing way of teaching, his personality probably. He just makes the subject and matter so interesting to you probably. Yes, Charu. Thank you for that. Ramdev is saying Prabhupada, who is a spiritual teacher, and his spirituality is personality. Okay, that's great. And Varun is saying, some Mr. Gokul, he told me what is the importance of life. See here, dear friends, you can see this. The teacher is not just interested in the subject, he's interested in the student. Right? Right that. He says, Sandesh is saying, Anjali madam, because she encouraged me. See this. Nobody is speaking about because he had PhD degree. Did you ever see? And even one response did not come because they were from IIT, because they were from MIT, Massachusetts, because they had 5 degrees, because they had all the knowledge of all the textbooks of the world. No, nobody is speaking that. None of the people are speaking that. That's interesting, right? And if there are any principals in this program which are hearing me, please look at this. Please look at this. If there are any directors, if there are any parents, if there are any teachers, please look at this. And if there are students who are going to be teachers in the later part of their life, please see this. What all of you are valuing in your teachers. Please read this. I mean, I can share this response to all of you. So he says that Rajesh has given a very amazing response. He says, Jagdish sir, so is Komal ma'am. He taught me through heart. He loves me. All things are easily. A positive response was given. A lot of help was given from the teachers. Yes, thank you. That's what we appreciate. That's how they influence us. They don't influence us by their bookish knowledge. They don't influence us by their degrees. They influence us through that relationship. Right? I think you got the point. Thank you. I've got 54 responses. It was very nice. Please give me more responses. I'll read each and every one of it. Not right now. I'll stop sharing this screen. I go ahead in the screen and I'm going to share with me the further part of the PPT. And you're going to see the video very soon. So please be with me. Don't leave the program in middle. I have some very critical things to talk to you. So how do teachers influence? Let's talk about this. Not by their content or knowledge. We got this point. We have learned this just now. Rather by their character or conduct or their qualities, their care and concern for the student. Please note this. We need more of the heart. We need more of compassion. We need more of good character in the teachers, right? So what is at the heart of teaching? Dear audience, students, teachers, parents, all of you please hear. I change the subject matter a little. I take it a little more ahead. I'm going to talk about what is at the heart of teaching. Teaching is not merely academics. We talk about teaching to be academics. We talk teaching as equal to increasing the grades. The teachers are graded by, teachers are leveled by, the good teachers means in all in their classroom everybody's getting A plus, that's okay. But what is at the heart of teaching? In other words, how do teachers transform the lives of their students? I want to show this to you. As I said to you, it's a student-teacher relationships. A personal human touch is most essential in the learning process, right? Nobody learns because you are in the classroom. Nobody learns. I mean, people talk this to me that in this era of corona and further ahead, are we going to have any teachers, or is it that technology will replace the teachers? I tell them no. You can never replace the teachers. It's impossible. You can never do that. It's not possible for you to replace the teachers because that human touch is so essential. You can make a machine, you can make a robot that can give you content, that cannot touch your heart, that cannot teach you those qualities, the life skills which are required to live. We need living teachers, and in this world which is post-corona, we need more good teachers. We are needing those teachers who know what is teaching. We want such teachers who are personal. We need the teachers with the heart, with kindness and compassion. Let's value our teachers. Okay, it's not going to be that there's going to be technology replacing the teachers. It's just not possible. Rather, teachers can use the technology. So here is where I'm going to ask you the second interaction, which will be, very interesting even more. In what learning environment do you best learn, and in which environment are you unable to learn? This is the second question for you, dear audience. And I want to ask you this. So therefore, I'm going to give the form again to you. After this interaction, I'm going to show you the video. Okay? And maybe then after that, just I'm going to wind up and have some questions and answers. I have here in your chat box, I'm going to write this. In the chat box, you get this second sheet, Google form. It's right in front of you. Yeah. Please take this. Please see this, and please again fill this. I want to ask you now second question, second thought process, which is going to make you even more go ahead. See, in teaching, there is one thing which you have to do is you have to engage your children. You have to engage your students. Don't just tell them what you want to tell them. Let them think about it. So there are some activities which you have to do. This is what I'm telling all of you, because most things are taught, not taught. If you are a parent, if you are a teacher, if you are a director, if you are a principal, please note this. Most things are taught. They are not taught. I am showing you how you should be engaging the audience, your student, whoever your student is, whatever the age is. You need to engage them in thinking. Don't just teach them. Don't just tell them this is what it is, this is what it is. I'm not telling you that. You are going through that experience yourself. So here is it again, because we know what's the tip for us. So therefore we can learn. The teacher should facilitate the child, not, as they say, take the hand of the child and hand hold the child and do something. No. You have to make them learn in an environment. What is that environment which is conducive for learning? What is that environment which is not conducive for learning? And how can we build those in our schools, in our colleges, in our communities, in our coachings, in our everywhere? This is what the question is. Tell me, in what learning environment did you do the best? So an example is, some of you may say, when I was being encouraged, when I was being valued, when I felt safe, when I felt secure. So you think about it, you think about it, and tell me from your own thought process. Think about the time when you were able to really learn the subjects very, very well. What was the learning environment and mood around you? How were you feeling at that time, which helped you to learn the subjects properly? I'm not talking about textbooks. I'm not talking about teaching methodologies. I'm talking about emotions. I'm talking about what emotions you were having at that time. What were the state of emotions? Environment is called as mood or emotions, right? Learning environment is equivalent to your emotions, state of your emotions at the time which you are learning. So I want to make a connect between emotions of the children and their learning ability. This is what I want to make. I want to ask you, what are those emotions which you were having when you were able to best learn? And how did that get created? And what were those emotions when you were having when you could not learn? And what contributed to those emotions? This is a question which is there in front of you. It's in your chat box. Please look at this again and share your responses with me, so that every one of the people who are here will be able to benefit with this. So here is it. Here is this. Yeah, please. So here is this. So somebody must feel that I was being threatened. My teacher was insulting me. Therefore, I could not learn the subject. So think like that. When you were not able to learn the subject, for what reason? And when you were able to learn the subject, for what reason? Okay. So about your mood, about your emotions. So please kindly see it and kindly fill. And I'm going to take you to the screen, the next screen. We are going to see, it has started coming. Great. I'm so happy that all of you are very active. It's really amazing that all of you are so active. The first response I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you the screen. Okay. Just give me just a few seconds. I'm going to share with you the screen. You're all going to see the magic happening right in front. Here is it. There it is. You see the responses are coming from all of you. There is all of your responses here in front of you. They're coming here. We have Anusha CH was just given. I want to thank you all. I really am seeing that you are all amazing, tuned in. It's really amazing. We are learning so well. I really wish to appreciate all of you from my heart. And please type it. Please give your response. It will be very good if you're engaged. So are you, Anvesh, I really want to thank you for the first response which you gave. That's really great. Thank you. So he says that, and Aryan, you're amazing. You're one of the youngest person in this program, just 13, 14 or 15 probably, I think. And you're giving me the fast response. I'm happy to see that. Practical experience makes me feel comfortable. Yes. Here is Anvesh telling us towards the environment getting created for learning, which is conducive. He needed some practical experience of doing things. Just like this, I created an experience on online. So people say online platforms, we cannot actually teach, etc. What are you speaking? You know, we can do a lot. Here I'm giving a house full program of 120, 200, you know, like people which are large programs. In the classrooms, you have a smaller number. You know, I love to teach my courses, which I teach to the students. Like I teach this course on art of concentration. You know, I take only 20 students. Okay, it's a batch of 20 students only, but I will make sure that each of those 20 students, their lives are totally changed after the end of the 6 weeks program which we keep for them. Okay, so I take only 20 because I will work on each and every one of them. Right? This is one program which I'm keeping for all of you. It's a large audience, but still I'm trying as best as possible to know you, to take your names, to connect with you, to engage you, to create an environment in which you feel secure, to create an environment in which you feel encouraged, to create an environment where you are valued, to create an environment where you feel like, hey, he values me. Hey, he's interested in me. Hey, he really wants to teach me. Hey, he's working hard. Hey, he's so happy teaching me. One day, a side joke, one day a student came late to the school. So therefore the principal was there right in the front of the school gate. So the principal asked the student, hey, why did you come late to the school? You see your watch? You see your watch? Why did you come late to the school? The student replied, sir, because there was a board there, actually. That's why I came late. What? You silly child. What board were you seeing that, you became late? What was there on the board? He said, actually, it was written on the board that beware, attention, school ahead, go slow. School ahead, go slow. I mean, yeah, they're so creative actually, they're so creative. But probably we are not using their creativity actually. Probably we are not using their creativity to actually boost their learning, and we are not creating that right environment in which they can learn sometimes, or maybe most of the time. What we have, our environment and communities in school, colleges and coaching, etc., should be so welcoming that the students should want to come. As the Sunday comes, they should be feeling, oh my God, I have to stay back at home. I won't be able to go to college today. I won't be able to go to school today. Hey, come on, should be feeling like that, isn't it? That's what we have to create, and here is how you create it. In a good kind, okay, when there was one-to-one interaction, when you felt there is a personal relationship, when you are not treated just as a roll number, as most of the people do today, right? When there was peace as an environment, there was no fear. When there was no, even if I make mistakes, it's okay. Even if I make mistakes, it's okay. I'll not be punished for it. I'll not be penalized for it, right? Parents, please listen this. When this kind of an environment you create for your children, they will better perform. Please see this. It's right in front of you. Right? We don't have to pressurize our children. We'll do it for you. Just love them. Just give them that relationship. Just give them the freedom. Okay? Let them have their freedom of course. They can do some other things. There are many options available in the job market. Right? So let's not pressurize them, because when you are pressurizing them, on the opposite, here you are finding that when the teacher is interested, they're restrictive, when they're discouraging environment, when I'm surrounded by many people around who are not interested in my studies. So you're saying not inside four walls. When we are sad, when slow teaching and high pressure, you see all this is there. Conditional learning, hard and shown motivated, here and okay, maybe it's opposite. Yeah, when I'm little angry or little depressed. So this is mood. Okay, so thank you for sharing. I got how many responses? I just see. Okay, that's very nice. We have 43 responses right now. I'm going to read each and every one of you, not right now in front, because I want to take you ahead. I want to take you ahead on my slides. Let's see. Okay, right back. As I just now, so if you like this video, I know sometimes the bandwidth of the internet is not that great. I can't help in that technological part. But I was trying to show you this video, and you can please leave your link with us. I'll send you this video also if you want to. You can see this at your end also. So apart from the technology, if you write the concept of emotional bonding is what is very critical for creating the right learning environment. If you got this concept, if you understand the importance of it, then we need teachers of human relationships. That's when the teaching and learning will happen. So then you can say, type, I got it, it was amazing, it was great. You can please type it there, I can see it. Please type it. I would like to see this on my screen, on my chat box. Please kindly type it. Yeah, I like this video, thank you. If you learned something, it was amazing, it was nice. If you learned, yes, so much important it is to bond with your students. Yeah, okay, thank you Varun, thank you Sandhya, thank you Nitin. You like Manaswini, thank you Prani, thank you Harshvardhan, Karishma, Anuj, thank you so much. Galaxy A30, okay, thank you. Maybe next time you can change your name, please. I'd like to see your sweet name. Okay, Shiva, okay, Teja, thank you. Galaxy M11, thank you. CH Hari, Palak Mantri, it was truly great and wonder. Yeah, thank you. Yes, our education system is lacking this. You got this Realme 5i. If you would change your name, I would be able to relate with you more. Gaurav sir, thank you. Gaurav Kumar, it's amazing. Yeah, thank you. Rohan, Akshay, thank you. Program with an important message. He's here for all of you. Impersonalism in education is of great concern. Impersonalism in education is of great concern, not the technology or online platforms. What we have, the greatest threat today is not that Corona is going to take away the relationships factor or online education is going to come. You can use online education also. You can use online platform to connect with the people also. The most important thing is required is personal relationship between the teacher and the student. Okay, this is really required. If I have to redesign our education system, this is what I will do. Many changes I want to do. Many changes I want to do in this education system. Please help me out. We have created this Arjuna group. I am sharing wisdom on my YouTube channel. I'm also sharing on Facebook, etc., my articles, etc. Please be with us. You join us. You subscribe our videos. You please help us create a revolution in this world. We really want to change and transform this world. This is what my vision is. This is my desire. And I'm not going to be possibly doing it alone. It's we who are going to transform everybody. Great teachers are great teachers because they don't put fire from below. Okay, hear this attentively. Great teachers are great teachers not because they put fire from below. Fire from below, you understand? Fire from below means deadlines, assignment deadlines. Oh, I have to finish this test, assignment. There's fire from below. Great teachers are not great teachers because they put fire from below. Great teachers are great teachers because they put fire within. Great teachers are great teachers because they put the fire within here. They give a dream, they give a vision, they give something to live for, something to stand for. That's a great teacher. Such teachers can transform. And I wish that all of us can actually transform this education, transform the way the society is living, transform the way people are behaving, transform this entire society towards more humanity, more love, more compassion, more spirituality, and more Vedic type of living, where there was Narada, where there was Birgani, who got such an amazing life transforming experience by his teacher Narada. This is what I request all of you. Help me out. I need your help. Please come to our, this Arjuna group. We have this YouTube channels and they're going to make announcements in a few minutes. But you please help us. You please help us spread out to large number of people to be able to make an effect and change. Impersonalism is the problem. It's not technology. Online platforms can be utilized. I'm showing you how to do that. I can do much more if you are in my courses. Okay, so So the impersonal education is when we prefer grades over learning, we cover syllabus over engaging the students. Teachers' time goes majorly in setting question papers and then checking the answers. That's a waste of time for most of it. I went to this school. I want to tell you something. I went to this school. I asked the madam, okay, how do you engage your teachers? What is their major thing to do? And you know what? I actually met the teachers after my program also. And I met all those teachers and everybody was complaining one thing. Every teacher was complaining to me one thing. What was that? I have no time. I said, really, what do you do? He said, I have to make these questions and answers and then I have to correct them. And I know one paper, it takes me 10 to 15 minutes to correct and I have this 100 papers, They're always overloaded. I said, wait, we are doing something wrong. Teachers are supposed to be with children, right? Teachers are not supposed to be papers. The maximum amount of time the teacher has to spend is not in front of books, not in front of question papers, not in front of setting questions. No, they have to spend time with children. That is where the maximum time should be going. And this is wrong way to organize things. I said, things are not going to work out here. Children's creativity is undermined. When the children gives a different answer, they are said, you don't know the answer. No, maybe he's thinking something different. Maybe help him. No student and teacher relationships today practically. I was from IIT. IIT is a great college. IIT has good teachers. But one thing I am really unhappy about is teachers are just not interested in children. That's how it is. It's not just my experience. I also hear many people speaking about it. I'm not saying anything against IIT. IITs are great. They're great teachers. I know really wonderful teachers. I'm talking about teachers and student relationship. That's missing. Not just there, probably everywhere. Right? Human concern for students is reducing today. Lesser and lesser choices for students and more discipline or pressure on students. This is not the way we can organize system. I went to Kota. Many of the coaching institutes over there, they have a system of terror. They want to create terror in the heart of the students. They send every particular exam. They will be conducting exam every week, probably every 15 days, major exam, this, that, and all of that immediately goes to the teacher. Immediately goes to the parents, and the parents keep getting updated and they keep asking why this. I said, well, there's something wrong here. You're creating terror. You're creating pressure. That's not the way the student will learn. That's not the way he will learn anyway. So therefore, there is a joy. Let the child experience a joy by telling his parent or her parent that I got this much marks. No, they are removing that whole relationship. They are making terror. They're sending the scores to the teachers and to the parents, and parents are seeing, and then always questioning. That's not the way things have to be. I used to be studying and I got some marks. I used to go to my mother and say, "Mother, I got this," and I used to feel so happy in telling that, right? Okay, so this is too much discipline, too much pressure. Doesn't work. That's what our major education system is actually going through. I want to tell you one example of this lady who changed a lot of things. Maybe I don't have time today. So, real threat to education system is not the focus on technology, rather the loss of personal relationships. I made that point. Technology won't replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who don't. Technology can help you in saving your time, maybe in correcting papers, maybe in designing question papers, maybe in making things so easy that, through technology that children can spend more time with the teachers. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so I think here is where we are ending. Let's learn from Vyasdev to be a selfless and devoted teachers. Vyasdev had a concern for humanity. That's the reason he actually wrote the Vedas. So therefore, on Guru Purnima, I want to request you that let's learn from Vyasdev. Let's learn from our Indian spirituality. Let's learn from our Indian scriptures and pay a tribute to all the teachers. Teachers' Day actually should be today. Of course, we have Dr. Radhakrishna's birthday that we have on 5th September. That's fine. Actually speaking, according to scripture, this is the day because Vyasdev's birthday is today. So this is from Vedic perspective, the Teachers' Day. I wish to end this class for all of you. There's a summary which I don't want to go much in detail. I explained my points quite clearly. I hope tribute to Vyasdev and teachers, best teachers, teach from heart, not from books. I try to do that for you. Believe me, I try to teach you from my heart. I tried that. Examples of various teachers who transformed lives. You all gave your examples. I taught my example and scriptural example. At the heart of teaching is student-teacher relationships, important personal relationships, build up the right environment and clues to do that. I already spoke. Symptoms of impersonalism in today's education, a concern about impersonalism and not online education is what I talked about. And we need more teachers who can transform others and build strong communities and strong nations. I want to end this with a request to all of you. First request I have is, please go and tell your teacher, maybe text her, text him, maybe mail her, mail him, maybe call them. Thank at least one of your teacher today or tomorrow or in this coming week. This is what I request you to do. Pay a tribute to your teacher, remember them, show your gratitude, thank them if they have influenced you. Thank you so much. There are very important announcements for you. Back to the host, please kindly take it ahead.